When we discussed the topic of blank PDFs, I have mentioned that you can create PDFs or blank PDFs with customized resolution by specifying a width and a height of your choice. I've also said that the unit of these resolutions is something called points. So that brings us to the topic of PDF coordinate system. So for a single page of a PDF, the coordinate system is somewhat similar to the typical Cartesian coordinate system that everyone has learned in their high school, where the coordinate system originates at the bottom left of the page. And then it goes to the right in an x-axis and upwards to an y-axis. Um, the unit points is really a relative measurement compared to inches. So there are 72 points per inch. So that means in a typical letter size PDF page, which is about 8.5 inches by 11 inches, there are 612 points by 792 points. Okay. So let's see how PyPDFForm can make working with PDF coordinates simpler. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to change this blank PDFs that we have created from last video to something that's larger. So let's change it back to letter size. Let's do 612, and then for the height, we're going to do 792. Go ahead and run that again, and we should have a much normal PDF. So what PyPDFForm offers is something called a coordinate grid view. It is really a preview of your PDF so that you can have a visual representation of the coordinate system to assist you to, let's say, place different elements such as form fields on your PDF. So let's see how you can trigger that preview. And it is actually quite simple. All you have to do is call pdf.generateGridView. And that's it. So if we go ahead and run this, oops, and hit refresh, you will see that exact coordinate system that I told you earlier. So again, it's a per page kind of system, but since all 3 pages of our PDF are the same, so we'll just look at all of them. As you can see, it starts, the origin of the quote-unquote Cartesian coordinate system starts at the bottom left, and to the right you have the x-axis, and vertically you have the y-axis going upwards. So you have 0, 0, 100 and 0, 100 and 100, and maybe here you will have 0 to 100 in the xy kind of coordinate fashion, right? It's pretty typical. The default granularity of the coordinates grid view is 100, but that's something you can change. So if you want to make it more dense, you can make it smaller. So something like the parameter of which you change it is called margin, and you can make it more dense by reducing it below the 100. So this would make the grid view more dense, as you can see. Now the granularity is about 50. Or you can make it less dense by increasing it to something that's like, let's say, not 20, but 200. So if we refresh it, we'll get a much less dense kind of coordinate system. If you paid attention, the letter size PDF has a resolution of 612 by 792, and you can see that somewhat being reflected in our coordinate system. As we can see, or actually let me make it more dense so that we can see it better. So come back here, let's do 50 and do that. And you will see that. Let me actually zoom in a little. The x-axis goes a little over 600, so somewhere close to 612. And then the y-axis goes slightly, well, not slightly, but like somewhat close to 800. I can visually see that between 750 and the top of the PDF being slightly shorter than 50, right? So another thing you can change with the coordinate grid view is the color of these coordinate system preview. So instead of doing red, which is the default, you can also do something like the way you would change it is called color, and then it takes a RGB channel tuple. So you can do red, green, blue, or a mix of the three. So in this case, I can change it to blue. So that would be 0, 0, 1 in the case of RGB. And if we were to run this again and refresh, you will get the coordinate view in a different color, basically. Okay, so this is something I would consider very critical when working with PyPDFForm, because a lot of the functionalities offered by the library revolves around understanding the PDF coordinate system. So whenever in doubt, make sure you just generate this grid view so that you can know precisely where on the PDF you're interacting certain actions, right? So yeah, that's it.